everyone, and welcome to the college football edition of Proline. It's just a two-man panel this week. It's kind of quick. I'm Dave Koken. John Cranton is here for Jim Feist. We're going to look at a couple of the major games on the schedule this weekend. Texas A&M taking on LSU. Baylor battling Oklahoma State. Definitely two of the marquee matchups on the Saturday schedule. Before we get to that, let's get you updated with the special offers we've got. Jeff Saad will be along in a little while from LVSS with a Man in the Street report and a great offer from Jeff for this weekend. I've got a big game. My mismatch of the year in college football is this Saturday. It's one of my three biggest plays of the season in terms of promotion. So it's a game we definitely want to win. And I don't think there's much question that I will this year, which is why I'm putting a ridiculous, and it is a ridiculous guarantee in the game. But that's how confident I am about this one. Not only does this game cover the spread, it covers the spread by at least 2 touchdowns. 14 points better than the number, or you get the rest of the college season free. Now, I know there's somebody going to say, well, the college season's over in 2 weeks. Well, that includes the Bulls. So it's not just the rest of the regular season. It's the entire rest of the college season, including the Bulls, free if this game can't cover by at least 2 touchdowns. $20 to get the game, and the sooner you call, the sooner you're going to get plays from us, because we're going to be giving out bonus selections, free bonus plays right up until game time on Saturday. So you got a chance to build that bankroll and cash in a real nice way on the big game. The number to call is 1-866-896-1629. That's 1-866-896-1629. And again, it's just $20. John, Jim has a big 5-play countdown going this weekend. Been running red hot in the NBA and in the NHL. I know the football's been really good all season for the most part, but nice to see the other sports chiming in with profits as well.
Yeah, you're right. 23-13 NBA run for Jim. 24-13 NHL run. He has a super Saturday on tap. You get 5 plays in all going on Saturday. 5 plays from Jim for $25. If you sign up early, you get a bonus play going tonight. So that's 6 plays in all. 1-866-841-1655.
All right, let's get to the games. And first up, we're going to look at the Texas A&M LSU matchup. And John, I got to tell you, it seems easy to say this, but I think it's going to win. I think the over is the way to play in this game. Johnny Manziel getting one more shot at look, he wants to win the Heisman again. Why wouldn't he? And he's got a real shot at it. A big game here on national TV against another named SEC opponent could be what puts him over the top. LSU can be had defensively too. It's not that this is not a vintage LSU defense. And the flip side of it is A&M's defense, which is really not that good. I mean, you're still talking about a team that's roughly allowing 200 yards a game on the ground, which elite defenses don't do, okay? LSU can be run on, they can be passed on. I'm not going to say it's going to be a shootout like we saw with A&M and Alabama with 91 points, but I do think you're going to get points in this game, and wouldn't shock me if you see 60 somewhere in that vicinity in this game put up. So what is the total right now?
71.
71. I meant 60. I meant to say 80, not 60.
You say 60 by each team, right?
Yeah. No, I think you're looking at a game where you're minimum. If you're in bad shape in this game, it won't be by much. I think you're looking at 30 points by each side in this game minimum. But I really see both teams getting more to the 40 range in this contest and maybe beyond. Absolute shootout in Baton Rouge. I like the over.
Well, the trends absolutely say that. In SEC play, the Aggies are a perfect 7-0 over the total, and LSU gets the offense going at home. They're 6-1 over the total. I'm going to take a side in this one. I love Johnny Manziel. His numbers: 31 touchdowns, 11 picks, 73% completions. Oh, and he chips in 611 yards rushing. Just a remarkable player for college football who really does it all. But major question marks with this Aggie defense. I mean, and look at some of the games they played. Arkansas put 33 points on them. Bama beat them by putting 49. They beat Ole Miss, but they gave up 38 points. They lost to amazing Auburn, giving up 45 points. And then last week's game, or 2 weeks ago, the last time they played, they did beat Mississippi State, but another shootout, 51-41. So, and in that game, Mississippi State had 556 yards, 299 rushing. When the Aggies play a team with a winning record. They're only 7-15 against the spread, and that's because of the hype on the offense, public team, and they just can't stop anybody. So you want to be careful about backing this team because of that defense. Love the LSU offense. Senior quarterback Zach Mettenberger. He's had a great season. He's got outstanding wide receivers in Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. And when the Tigers come off a bye week, you have to keep in mind that Les Miles 4-1 against the spread. Last year's game, LSU won 24-19. That was because of 5 turnovers by the Aggies, but there still was a lot of yards, 410 by Texas A&M in the losing cause. So wouldn't be surprised to see a high-scoring game, but Dave, I think I'm going to take home field in this one and back LSU.
We're going to check in with our man on the street before we get to the Baylor-Oklahoma State game. That is, of course, Jeff Sod from LVSS. He's got a free play on an NFL total for Sunday. Jeff, go ahead.
Thanks, guys. Got a free total coming up in the NFL, but first it's week 12 of college football, and I've got my rivalry game of the month Saturday, plus my NFL home field game of the year on Sunday. Both games are $10 with a pair of bonuses. NBA and college basketball releases going tonight. 4 plays in all for $10 with LVSS. Call 1-866-575-8916. Free play comes in the NFL Sunday as the Panthers and Dolphins meet in Miami. Because Carolina is a conservative, run-oriented offense, bottom 5 in passing, but top 10 in rushing. But the heart and soul of this team is a bone-crushing D, top 5 against the run and the pass. Last 3 road games allowed 10, 13, and 9 points. Under is 7-2 in the Panthers' last 9 games on grass. The defensive line will cause havoc to a bad Miami offensive line with a Dolphins offense that can't run or pass. The under is 6-2-1 in the Dolphins' last 9 games in November. Take the Panthers and Dolphins under the total. Once again, I got my rivalry game of the month on Saturday, plus my NFL home field game of the year on Sunday. Both games just $10 with a pair of bonuses. NBA and college basketball releases going tonight. 4 plays and off, just $10. Call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Free plays, they're available every day from both Jim and myself via text message. We started doing this a couple of years ago, and a lot of people have jumped in on it because it's real easy. I mean, you just look at your cell phone, and there's the free play sitting there. You don't have to talk to anybody. It's real quick. It just says take so-and-so, and that's it. You can get mine each day by texting COKIN, C-O-K-I-N, to 313131. That's all you got to do. Text COKIN to 313131, and it's the same process for Jim's free play, John.
That's correct, yeah. You just use your cell phone, text WINNER, W-I-N-N-E-R, 313131. You get free plays every day right to your cell phone from Jim Feist. Text WINNER, 313131.
All right, let's go to the Big 12, and this should be fun. Baylor and Oklahoma State. I had a big play on Baylor last weekend. It's got to be the only team in the country where I'm down 14-0 and down 20-7. I'm laying almost 4 touchdowns. I think I laid 27 in the game. And it's like, they still got a pretty good shot to win this. And by the halftime, I think they were only up 8 at the half. I was convinced this is going to be a winner. Texas Tech got off to a great start, had a few things go right, and then the talent just took over. And Baylor's just too good for them, and ended up smashing them. They just don't stop scoring. But boy, oh boy, what a challenge for the Bears this week. They're going into Oklahoma State, and I think it's fair to say this. The Cowboys might actually be an underrated football team. This is a really good game this weekend. We'll find out. But I got to tell you, if Baylor can go in there and win this in a blowout, go in and win by 3 touchdowns, I got to tell you, Baylor's got a real argument to be in that championship game at the end of the year, regardless of what Florida State and Alabama do. Won't happen, but they'll have a good argument. Let's put it that way, because this is a tough game. Very tough spot. Back-to-back. I don't think this game will end up on my... In fact, I almost guarantee this game won't end up as a personal play. I don't want to go against Baylor. They scare the living daylights out of me. But the spot says Oklahoma State, and it says it pretty strong. I mean, if you're into handicapping situational analysis, you almost have to go with Oklahoma State here. I think that's a factor in terms of my handicapping. It's not the be-all and end-all because, like you, John, I like to match things up. But that's also not a big positive for Baylor because of the injury situation. They do have some guys banged up. They're the unhealthiest they've been all season going into this game. Stillwater is going to be on fire for this matchup.
Sure.
I mean, this is going to be nuts. It's going to be way worse than it was last Saturday because that was a neutral field game. That was a home game for Texas Tech, but it wasn't a home game. It wasn't on their home field. There were a ton of Baylor fans there. Not going to be the case in Stillwater. This is going to be a sea of Oklahoma State fans. I don't think they can win the game, and so therefore I can't really take it. But if I had to play this game, I got to go Oklahoma State plus the points.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this is amazing. This Oklahoma State team, I agree, is underrated. He got a 9-1 team, and they're a 9 to 10 point home underdog at this point in the season against somebody other than Alabama. It's amazing. They're also 15-2 straight up against this Baylor team, although one of those losses was last year, a 41-34 game where both teams had a big shootout. Key for this game, for me, would be injuries to Baylor. Boy, there's some key guys who were just injured here. Tevon Reese has the wrist. He's done. C. Strunk, phenomenal back. Didn't play last week. Not 100% with his groin injury. This guy averages 8.7 yards per carry, along with his over 800 yards rushing. A phenomenal talent. You want to have him at 100% with a road game like this, a key conference game. This team has been an over machine, 23-7-2 over the total in Big 12 play. This Oklahoma State team, though, very much underrated. Defense, phenomenal. They're 14th in the country and allowing 19 points per game. Now, they're not going to do that against this Baylor offense, but people have been underestimating and undervaluing them all season long. They're 7-3 ATS overall, undefeated at home. And they had a big matchup the last game against Texas, and they just stuck it to a red-hot, very good Texas team, 38-13.
Yep.
Yeah, they crushed them. And 2 years ago, Oklahoma State was really good at forcing turnovers because of defensive coordinator. They got back to that this season. They're phenomenal at that. So I'm with you, Dave. I think this is an underrated team. When they play in conference, Cowboys are 21-9 against the spread. Last year's game, Baylor had 615 yards. But Oklahoma State had 560 in a real close game, so I will take the home dog in this one, Dave.
All right, let's go to the best bets. I'm actually going to give you a game that we didn't talk about, and I don't usually give out games that I know I'm going to be giving out on the personal service, but I will here. What the heck? I'm rooting for them in this game as well. It's the Thursday game between UNLV and Air Force. This is a big game for UNLV, really big. The Rebels get their 6th win. They're bowl eligible if they get this win. And make no mistake, that is absolutely huge to the program. I think Bobby Hauck's doing a tremendous coaching job with this squad this year. They've gone from being just a perennial doormat to a really competitive 5-5 team. They should have beaten Utah State, or at least had a better opportunity to. If you watched the last couple of plays in that game, I mean, these officials are absolutely horrendous. You call stuff throughout the game, and then all of a sudden, basically, Utah State was able to do anything they wanted, legal or not, on the last couple of plays in that game. Blatant holding, absolutely blatant holding, doesn't get called, and that's a guy who's going to be open over the middle. I thought Utah State's a heck of a team, and I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win the game, but they didn't deserve to win the game. And I had Utah State in that game, so it's not sour grapes. I was on the wrong side. UNLV has experience against the option. Last year, they absolutely obliterated Air Force in the second half of the game here at Sam Boyd Stadium. And the reason was, this is now a big UNLV football team. You know, when Bobby Hauck took over the program, they didn't look like a football team. They looked like a JV team. They were physically outmanned by teams. That's not the case anymore. These guys are big now and physical. I think they're too strong for Air Force physically. Wouldn't be surprised if this is close for a while. You know, the Air Force option could be a pain in the ass. But I think the Rebels will figure it out like they did against New Mexico. It's not the same offense, but there are some similarities. Air Force is a dangerous team, even though they're having a bad year. The weather conditions are not exactly what UNLV would like. It's going to be cold. It's probably going to snow. Last time I checked, 70% chance of 1 or 2 inches of snow in the Denver area. And this is closer to the mountains, so probably more than that. You could be looking at 3 or 4 inches of snow. That's not so hot for UNLV, but they're the better football team, and they got to have this game. I like the Rebels to win that contest, and I will definitely be rooting for them because I'm a fan as well. And it's nice to have that cannon painted red again, by the way. The offer this week is for my mismatch of the year in college football. It's one of my biggest 3 games of the entire season. I'm going to guarantee it covers the spread by at least 2 touchdowns. or the rest of the season, including the bowl package, is free. And my bowl package includes a play on every game. Okay, we do a bowl play on every single game. So you're talking about, what is there, 35 bowl games or something like that? Plus a couple weeks of regular season. You're talking like 40 plays at no cost on the guarantee. I wouldn't do that if I didn't think this game was going to be real easy. So get it now for $20, free bonus plays until the game goes on Saturday. 1-866-896-1629. That's 1-866-896-1629. And Jim has that big 5-play countdown, which you can talk about, John, as well as your best bet. Hey, you're a Rebel fan. Come on, jump on.
Oh, I'm rooting for the two. And matter of fact, if those referees you're talking about are that bad, it sounds like they're ready to make the jump up to the NFL. So we can let them move up. I will. My best bet on the show will be the Oklahoma State, the home dog, in what should be, like last year, a very close game. If you want a 5-play countdown from Jim Feist, 5 plays for the entire day for $25, it's 1-866-841-1655, and that comes with a guarantee 4-1 and 5-0 from Jim. Call 1-866-841-1655 for a Saturday 5-play countdown.
And if you think I'm exaggerating on that, in the last couple of plays in the Utah State game, there's probably video of it someplace. You look at what's going on in the slot in that game. Unbelievable.
Hugging and mugging.
Oh, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Okay? And it means you have to try and throw an out, some kind of a pattern in the end zone, which didn't work. Okay. Anyway, that's it for the college edition of Proline. If you haven't checked out the NFL edition yet, make sure to do so with Jim Feist. John and myself are going through 2 of the biggest games on this week's NFL schedule. The Broncos taking on the Patriots, Cowboys battling the Giants. That's on the NFL edition of Proline. Make sure and get those free plays every day and take advantage of the offers. This is a good week to do it. You'll make some money. For John, I'm Dave. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.